Hello, everybody. Happy Native American Heritage Month. Welcome to Sissy's, Uncis, and Aunties live for the month of November. It's so amazing to be here with you all, and I'm excited to um, spend time with you, to visit, to share space. And I'd like to introduce my co hosts. Um, I actually didn't even introduce myself, but I'll bring her on and then I'll introduce. Um, she can introduce herself too. So this is my co-host. Boo, boo, boo. Oh wait! I have something new that I want to introduce. So
Yay!
so let me introduce myself and then I'll pass it over to you. Hiohomi Takiape, Avro Cordovi, Machiape, Malakota, and Tas Pueblo. My Thama is Joseph Conquilla Cordova. My Ina, my cause, Patricia Crow Cordova. I'm sixth generation from Chief Red Cloud. I'm the owner operator of AC and Associates. I'm a mother, daughter, community member, co-host, and I'm excited to be here with you all. You can follow me on my socials at AC and Associates, and I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Jennifer. Boo, boo, boo.
Hello. Yes. Brr, brr, brr. I can't make sound effects like you. Skugtosh, Aninap Chigik, Jennifer Varenchek. Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Varenchek. I'm from the Tonoatam Nation, and I am a grandmother. I am a filmmaker, a writer, director, producer. I'm a co-host. I'm an executive director. I am a stand-up paddle boarder. I was trying to think of all the things that I am, April, when you made your list. So, but I'm most proudly Tohono Atam.
Mm,
So, anyways, hello everybody. We are so happy to be with you here in November for Native American Heritage Month. It's our month, yay! So as you know, if you've ever watched our show, we always start off in a good way. And so we are going to do that right now. Is that right, April?
that is right, Jen. But before we do that, let's say hi to
Mhm.
some people that are in the chat.
Oh,
Um,
yay.
hey, hi there. I don't want to mess up your name. Anna, yeah, Anna, yeah. And although it is Native American Heritage Month in November, it's also her birthday. So happy
Yay.
you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's
And
let.
I'm gonna take a shot at her name. Maybe Anaya.
Ooh,
I
Anaya.
don't know, but happy birthday. I'm gonna say Anaya. It could also be Anaya. We don't know, but whatever your the proper pronunciation of your name is, we want to say happy birthday to you. Another trip around the sun, the earth went around the sun. Sorry.
Yay.
And as April's getting ready for our prayer, I want to let everybody know that I've had a rough morning. However, I'm still here. So if I seem a little loopy, it's only because I spent most of the morning at the doctor's. I'm fine, everybody. Don't worry about it. But I just want to let you know that I came home kind of in a rush and in a daze. And here I am because I'm so committed and wanting to be with our community. Okay, April, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're doing great. I know that we need prayer all the time. And I know that you're going to pray, but it's also somebody else's birthday, Jesse. I'm
Oh,
glad you're
Jesse.
watching and happy birthday to you. Maybe we should sing happy birthday.
Later. Yeah.
Hey, awesome.
Don't let us forget.
Yeah, please put in the comments. Interact with us, guys, because we're here for you guys.
It keeps us going.
It does. Even though sometimes it's overwhelming and we're like, ah, we're committed to being here.
Hmm.
So, Jen, I believe
Yes,
you that is
I
leading.
am. And I'm lighting my sage. And let's do our prayer, everybody. So we have April has her sage. I have mine. I'm going to smudge myself and my electronics.
Yes.
And some for you, my friends, my relatives. All right. Yes. And let's say a little something while this burns off to the side. Skooktosh creator, hello creator. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together over the internet and to connect. I ask creator that you bless everybody that is watching, everybody that is listening, whether it's live or in a replay. I ask that you continue to bless myself and April and Justine, all of our families, all of our friends, our community. I ask that you uplift our community and help us to heal, help us to thrive and live in abundance and enjoy. Continue blessings for everything that we have in our heart, Creator. You know what's in our heart. And so at this time, we take those deepest, darkest, wishes or fears, whatever it is, and we lift it up to you, Creator, knowing that through you all things are possible, and we're so grateful for that. Aho, Watake say. Amen. All right. And I feel better already.
I know, right?
Prayer helps.
Prayer does help. I'm gonna get my self situated here. I think I need to put on my earphones because I can hear background noise and I don't want you guys to hear that. Um, but in the meantime, I do also want to we like to start with prayer, welcoming, and also land acknowledgement. So let us know where you're at in Indian country, and I'm gonna let you know where I'm at. And if you don't know whose lands you're on, um, you can always check out native dash land land.ca, and this will let you know where and whose lands you're on. But as for me, um, I am near Snow Mountain Paiute, and you may have heard of it, you may know it, but you may not know it by um, the name that I'm giving it to you, Snow Mountain Paiute. Um, you might have heard of boo, 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 Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where I'm at right now. So that's the lands that I'm on and near. Um, and let us know in the comments where you're at. That's it. The end. That's a land acknowledgement.
I love it.
Quick and sweet.
It's straight to the point, and that's all we want is straight to the point here.
Hmm.
All right, so now that we did our prayer, our land acknowledgement, we're going to do our question of the day before we get into our interview. And our question of the day is, given that it's November, and November is famous for Native American Heritage Month, what is your favorite part of Native American Heritage Month? Um, and I have an answer, but April, do you have an answer? Do you need a moment?
No, I have an answer.
Okay, go ahead,
Um,
and then I'll go.
So, what is your favorite part of Native American Heritage Month? For me, Native American Heritage Month is every day for me. I celebrate it every day. However, the favorite part about it for me is seeing all the many events, the virtual events, the in-person events, and people definitely recognizing it, that it is Native American Heritage Month. A lot of people celebrate by doing um, virtual events like this or other things. But that's what I like about it.
All right, yeah. I was going to say something very similar in that my favorite part of Native American Heritage Month is the busyness of it. There's so many things going on. There's film festivals, there's gatherings and powwows. Um, it's kind of like during the rest of the year when I share native facts or information or stories or anything like that, I kind of feel a little bit like I'm impeding upon people. But during Native American Heritage Month, I feel like I'm like the spotlight's on us and I can say anything that I want without feeling any shame or guilt or I don't know what embarrassment maybe because
Mm.
I'm like this is the month for us to shine and this is the only time. It's not the only time. Like you said, you celebrate like every day, but I feel like for the public, the mainstream public, it's really our opportunity, and people seek us out, and I love that. If we even if it's only for a month, I still like it. That's my answer.
You know,
Ooh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Karen here on Facebook, I like her answer. All the opportunities to bring the community together while also educating the broader community. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say. So she said it very nicely, succinctly in a sentence, and I think that's what I was trying to say. There's just so much going on, and I love it.
Mm. Thank you, Karen. Um, I also want to go back to something that you said, is that there's so many things going on. There's film festivals, there's events, and it brings me back to that time when we were in Chicago together.
Oh, that was so long ago.
So
Oh,
long ago, it was last week.
I know, and I didn't tell everybody that I didn't acknowledge where I'm streaming in from,
Mm,
which is Kahaluu. I live on the island of Oahu, which is a part of the occupied territory of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and so Chicago is very different from where I live, and I love getting away because when I get away and then when I come back, I'm like, oh, thank God, I'm back. Everybody always feels like, there's no place like home. And so
mm,
getting into Chicago with the hustle and the bustle and the big buildings and the buses and the subway, all or not subway, train, all the different aspects of Chicago is so wonderful to see and experience. However, it acts as a contrast because then when I come back, I feel, first of all, the warmness, even though this is our winter right now and like people are cold. Our cold is like 65 degrees. That's
mm.
what cold is for us. That's when we're wearing like sweatshirts because we're like, it's cold.
Yeah, and we just made it out of there before it snowed, and also we made it out of there, and there was a 10% chance that flights were getting canceled when we were in a government shutdown, which we are no longer in a government shutdown. However, it's always great to spend time to um, be in a space where you and the person that you're sharing space with align, because me and Jen, she's my bestie, she's my sister, we've traveled together so many different times. However, we had these big plans. We were going to go explore the city, and we got in really late. We got in like about 10 or 11, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we got in, and then we got situated, and the next day we were going to go out and explore the city. And then, Jen, what did you say?
I said, no. Yeah. It wasn't so much that, I think for me, I first of all traveling to Chicago is it's a journey, you know,
Mhm.
it's a journey, especially coming from Hawaii. So I was already like tired from just the travel on its own. And then in addition, the time change, which is 6 hours.
Mhm.
So, and I never fully adjusted because we were only there for like 3 nights and or 3 days and 4 nights, I think, or something like that. So I just decided, you know what, this is my third time to Chicago, so I will just relax. But I don't know if I said anything specifically. Did I say anything specifically about it?
What you said was, April, are you awake? It's 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I was like, what? It's 2 o'clock. But here's the thing that I appreciate is like, it's not like get up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We have to go explore the world or explore the city. I've been to Chicago too before. Um, but we took our time. We eased into the day, what was left of it. And the next day as well, we didn't like jump up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. We got up and you found a local spot that was walking distance. And, we were able to hang out how we hang out. There wasn't any um, plans. Some people travel differently. They have a schedule and they need to see this and they need to see that. And I just appreciate it that we as sisters, as besties, can really like be like, we're gonna do it or we're not, or we're not. Let's walk to the corner store, pick up something. Let's walk to, get something to eat. And it was just really good.
I
So
agree. I agree. I especially liked how we were able to um not I've traveled with people that are very like you have to have a schedule, and if you're here and you're sleeping, that's a waste. Why would you travel? I mean, I'm just repeating all the things that people have said to me. Why would you travel all this way just to go to sleep? And it's like, yeah, but sometimes you need sleep.
yeah, and we needed sleep, right?
Yeah, because you have to think about like just the time difference and the physical going like up and down of your body. Like that's a lot of pressure. And as you age, it's harder to like adjust to that. And I don't
Mhm.
mind. I don't mind at all. So yeah, it was fine. I didn't mind that that we weren't able to go see sights, but we were able to definitely have a good time.
Mhm. Sorry about that. Yes. And the other thing is, we mentioned where you were at. You're in Hawaii. I'm in Las Vegas. Somebody in our chat, though, um, it's saying
Mm.
that they're on their mom's land in South Dakota. And their mom actually is my sister cousin, and this is my nephew.
Oh,
Um,
no way.
yeah. So, hi, how are you, Bear? Um, his name is Emerson Bobtail Bear. I hope
Mhm.
I'm getting the right one. Cause um no, this might be my other nephew. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Hi. It's glad to see you. Okay, but I just wanted to acknowledge that he said he was in South Dakota, which is Pie Ridge.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's where you're from, or part of you is from.
Yeah, my family on my mom's side is also from Pine Ridge. So
Mhm.
thanks for being here, guys, and hanging out with us. But so we said our welcome, we said our prayer, land acknowledgement, our question. Oh, and let me just recognize another nephew that's checking in. He's in Denver. Um, and this is Daryl. We've had him on our show before in
Mhm.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah, he checked in. So if you're in the Denver area, you should definitely look him up. He does basketball. He's a coach and he also does one-on-ones, I believe, or
Hmm.
like open court or stuff like that. So, hi nephew. Okay, so we have the privilege of actually having people on. We usually have a guest on, and the guest for this month was somebody that I am really a fan of. This is our guest auntie tonight, and her name is Tammy Tiger. Boo boo boo. She is a proud citizen of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma and a descendant of the Muskogee Creek people. She has called Las Vegas home for more than 30 years and is a strong voice for Indigenous leadership, education, and community wellness. Tammy serves as the Director of Tribal Education Initiative at UNLV and the College of Hospitality, where she works to uplift Native students, strengthening pathways into tribal leadership, and build partnerships across Indian country. She helped establish the UNLV Native American Alum Club and also continues to support programs that empower the next generations of Indigenous professionals. Her career includes more than 2 decades of public service with Clark County, and she's also known throughout Nevada and internationally for her commitment to community, culture, and leadership. She is amazing. She
Mm-hmm.
is just the person that you need to know if you come to Las Vegas. Her and some other people, but Tammy is just that fire that if you want to be involved, she'll get you involved. Jen, um, before we go into our interview, I don't know if our space, our visiting space. Do you have any words?
She would be what you and I and our other core group of friends back in Los Angeles, what we would call a big deal.
Yes.
Very big deal. We would use that term when we were working in the Los Angeles community, and if we were going to be meeting with somebody who basically has the ability to either say yes or no or sway people to say yes or no. They are big deals. They are the
Mm.
ones that like make the decisions. And Tammy is definitely a big deal. She has the connection, she has the resources, and she has the professionalism and skill. She's definitely a big deal. And if you are living in Las Vegas or moving to Las Vegas, like she's definitely someone within the Native community that you want to know because she's already been there for so long. She knows everybody. She knows the ins and outs. If I was moving to Las Vegas, I would be like, boop, 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 Tammy, hook me up.
Yeah, not even hook me up, but like, because even when I got here first, she totally welcomed me. But she also is connected to UNLV through um, the hospitality, like I said, the hospitality area. And
Mm,
I'm thinking like, what would you need in hospitality? But Vegas is known for that here. You have restaurant management, you have, all kinds of things that um, she's made a native thing about.
mhm.
So there's a lot of things going on, this month. And in the chat, put what you guys have going on in your area, and we'll be happy to highlight it. But right now, we're going to go ahead and highlight our sister. Um, and before we get into that, Jen, is there anything else that you want to?
Nope, I'm just excited for everyone to learn more about Tammy.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. We are here with the amazing Tammy Tiger, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself, and let's get started.
Halito, so Chifoyat, Tammy Tiger, Chattassia, Muskogee Okla in Lashnuwu. Hi, everyone. I'm Tammy Tiger. I'm a citizen of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. I'm descended from Muskogee and Seminole peoples, and I live here on Nuwu land, Southern Paiute lands in Las Vegas. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hey, Jennifer.
Or Halito. Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah.
I used to have a friend, Jason. I haven't talked to him in years, but he taught me that. So as soon as I heard that, I always think Jason, Choctaw.
So, Tammy, we have you here today, and we're so thankful that you're here. We're celebrating Native American Heritage Month, and you are our special guest, Auntie. We're very thankful that we can find time to have this space and place to gather and to visit. So we have a couple of questions that we want to ask you. The first question is about Native American Heritage Month because November is that. And the question that we want to pose to you is, what does Native American Heritage Month mean to you personally? And how do you hope people in Las Vegas and beyond will use this month to deepen their understanding of Native communities?
Well, for me personally, I mean, it's Native November. It's like a time that our community is highlighted, even though like we should be learning about Native Americans every month. But it's a time that, is really special because I've seen like so many posts coming up of everyone acknowledging and celebrating that I wouldn't have seen before, even like locally, like nonprofit organizations, sports teams, things like that. And I'm like, wow, like I have not seen that over the years. So I just love to see our culture being celebrated. For me personally, it's always, like I said, we're Native every day, but I always like to make sure that I help to promote any type of events that are happening with my own family. Just talking about different aspects of our culture or our family heritage, things that I can share. I'm the oldest of 8 children and I'm the first grandchild. So I always feel like this, excuse me, like a responsibility to make sure that, I share things that I learned with my family. And I just had the opportunity to visit my homelands for the first time. And it was just so powerful and meaningful to be there. And so now I'm just trying to round up the whole family, like, okay, next year, like, let's try to get a trip of all of us together. Like, we have to be able to connect with where we're from. And so I would hope that, personally, that's what it means to me. As far as the community, I hope that wherever you are, like they take the time to learn whose land they're on, even as simple as just learning about the tribes that are in the space that you're at. What are the issues that they're facing? How can you support and be a good ally?
Thank you for sharing that. I did see that you got to go back home or go back to your homelands, and I hope that for everybody can do that as well. I know a lot of people might be off reservation, or for the people that are there, just get a deeper connection to, the generations, the next generations. And I know a lot of people are doing that, but for individuals that are off reserves or their tribal lands, I hope they, one, deepen their knowledge, whether it even be saying a small word or, making their way back home to eat that food that we all love and that many of us grew up on, or if you didn't have a chance to taste that food that our ancestors made and nourish themselves on. But thank you for sharing that. It really opens my eyes to just what's around us as well. Like you shared, knowing who's around you and what's around you. I'm close to Snow Mountain, and I always recognize that as the areas that I'm near or on because I'm so close to it. But thank you for sharing that. And we always open with how you can find out what lands you're on.
Oh, good. Yeah, on the website.
Yeah.
Whenever I travel too, I'm like, let me see where I'm at. And I like to like not only call it by its, government name, but what the traditional people called it. And that mountain, Snow Mountain, I mean, that's the place of creation for the Southern Paiute people. And I don't know if you've had a chance to go up to the Spring Mountain Visitor Gateway. The tribes, the Southern Paiute work together on helping to establish a monument there that tells the different bands. So it's a cool place to go. In addition to the golf course, Las Vegas by the Golf, just right down the street on the other side of the freeway. But I've lived here, I'll say over 35 years. I've lived here a long time since I was in middle school and growing up urban. I've always just felt like, what can I do to support the people that are here and whose community I live in, but also maintain the connection with my family and my tribe back in Oklahoma. And so being from a tribe that is twice removed, essentially, I had never even been to Mississippi. So getting to go where we actually have stories of where our creation it was just beautiful. And everyone was speaking fluent Choctaw, like among the whole family is like, it was just the normal language. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it just, it just made me feel very complete, especially because I had not been. I feel like I've been wanting that my whole life. And I want to cry, but
You're saying, I get it totally. Like, I remember the first time I went to my reservation and I went to the grocery store and it was just like everywhere, everybody looked like me. And that was really weird, because hadn't grown up in an environment where I always was only like probably the only person of color. So, like, it was such a common everyday thing, but it was like so meaningful. And here I am pushing my cart down the aisle, like so happy, and everyone's like, "Who's that girl? Like, why is she so why is she so happy?"
I know I'm all
Um,
staring at him and like just listening all hard. And
yeah, yeah.
I
When they're
wanted to
like,
record him, but I'd be like that weird city Indian girl. And so I was just like, okay.
right, trying to blend in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have the next question for you, which is about representation in higher education. How can things be improved in universities like UNLV to create more visibility, more support, and more opportunities for Native students, both culturally and academically?
I think first, there has to be communication with leadership, really to make sure that they understand that tribes are sovereign nations, that there's the expectation of a government to government relationship with our students who are citizens and descendants of tribes, that they understand our political status, because that really differentiates the type of outreach or support that they do with tribal nations directly, in addition to just serving like the Native American racial demographic that we always get lumped into. And one of the biggest challenges is just the data, especially in higher ed. There's a system called iPads, which is even different than like the census or other methods of data collection. Because if you select that you're Native American, American Indian, Alaskan Native, and then you also select that you're Hispanic or any other race, it automatically negates that count in that American Indian box.
Mhm.
And it puts you as Hispanic or it puts you as two or more races. So then we had them run a report that says, well, just give me the people that check the box, even if they checked everything else. And that number is like over 1,000. So now it's like, okay, we have 1,000 students to support and build these systems for, rather than once they check that box, it drops it down to like 100. And then how do we get federal status as a Native American serving non-tribal institution, which makes you eligible for more funding to create more programs and support these students if you don't have if you're getting like 10% of what the student population is. So there's some things that I think most universities that really want to focus on growing and serving their Native American population can do, and that's with establishing relationships directly with tribes at their government level, to meet with them and consult with them on what they can do to support their students once they come, if they come off res, or even if they live here as urban natives. And then how do they make them have that sense of belonging once they are in campus? How do we retain them? How do we meet the special needs that our community has? Maybe they need to get home for ceremony and they're going to miss a test, or a family member passes away and they have a bereavement. There's special things that we observe as Native people and that we still practice, and how can that be respected in a university environment, and what the university can do. It's been really great to see just in recent years that there's now offices especially dedicated to working with Native students that are becoming more and more common amongst universities. We know UNR did one, and we've been working on advocating for one with UNLV too.
Are there groups, like community groups within the Las Vegas area that have connected to any student Native organization at all?
Community groups like,
Well, remember earlier I was saying I had that friend Jason?
oh
So
yeah.
he was Choctaw from but he went to UCLA
Mhm.
and he connected with our Los Angeles Native American Community Center.
Oh yeah.
And so the community center connected and they started tutoring the kids at the community center. So UCLA students would come to the community center. But over time, that relationship really strengthened. And then the community started um, being involved in UCLA student events like graduation or we would invite them to like our monthly meetings. This was a while ago, and I don't know if I mean, I've been out of Los Angeles for 6 years now, so I don't know if it's still going on, but it was great to see how the community ended up connecting with this university. And a lot of really great relationships were made for students that had that issue of wanting to go back, but maybe they couldn't go back. So they needed that sense of community. So that's why I was asking.
Oh yeah, definitely. So here in the Las Vegas area, I think over the years, the Las Vegas Indian Center was really instrumental in a lot of those relationship building and scholarships between the community and UNLV. There used to be an Honor the Elders banquet that was a fundraiser for the scholarship. This is back when I served on the board in the early 2000s. But I think it stopped somewhere along the way, and policies were changing at UNLV sometimes when leadership changes and things drop down. Um, uh, there's also the state. The state has a Nevada Department of Indian Education who helps support bringing students to, they're the K through 12, so they help to support the summer camps, and they helped grow the summer camps statewide and bring them students from all across Nevada. And then the Clark County School District Indian Education, Native Voters Alliance always comes to a lot of our events, and they help promote, civic engagement, but they're just there to be like a community partner and be involved in what's happening and what the students' needs are. So yeah, definitely, I think Las Vegas is still like a small community, and so I feel like there's an Indigenous AF, IAF Inc. is a nonprofit that they have UNLV interns, and there's a Final Friday event where the UNLV students are invited. So definitely our community is small and pretty tight knit, and so we're usually all coordinating our calendars at the same time too.
Oh, that's great. I love it though, because that's like where I think the most meaning can be was like when all the different groups like work together and they're not like competing there, or if it's like healthy competition, but supporting each other. So yeah, calendar collaboration is awesome.
It is, it is.
Thank you for answering that. I love hearing about the different things that are in Vegas since I'm new. I always want to just dive in, but then I step back a little bit because I'm a full-time caretaker too, so that is another plate that I handle. But thank you for letting our audience know that as well. I do feel like it's a big city and a little city in a little city. So we're gonna go to our next question,
Okay.
which is what's something most people don't realize about the Native community in Las Vegas? Are there local events, leaders, or movements you'd like to highlight?
I would. I think when I talk to a lot of Native people around Indian country, they think about just Las Vegas as the Strip. How they think about us that live here in general is like, oh, do you guys live on the Strip? Or that question, and they don't really. They're usually here for like conferences or events, so they don't really see beyond what the center of Las Vegas is, to realize that we're surrounded by beautiful landscapes, sacred sites all the way around, and that Nevada is like over 80% public lands and tribal lands, and just how much advocacy the tribes here, the indigenous people from here have done to protect those lands. I mean, dating all the way back to Yucca Mountain when they were going to make a nuclear storage site here, like just north of Las Vegas. You know, they used to have a nuclear test site testing all the time up there. I remember when I moved here in like middle school, we'd hear a siren go off, and that meant that they were testing, and it felt like there was an earthquake or something. And it was the tribes that stopped that project from coming through. Even they were going to do like a military base just even closer to the city, and there was a campaign that the tribes were instrumental in and led that called Don't Bomb the Bighorn. So there's been so much work that the tribes and indigenous people of this area have done to protect it for everybody, right? Because imagine what the tourism would be like if some of these things went through. It's so important to our economy here. So I think it's just important to know like just how much involvement and engagement that the tribes have in protecting these lands. And even just 2023, I think Fort Mojave had the fourth national monument designated here in Nevada with a Abikwame. And that was just a strong collaboration between the tribes and the rural communities and conservation areas to have that space designated now and protected as a national monument.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know that if they weren't here and involved. Um, the other part of that question is, are there local events, leaders, or movements that you'd like to highlight with Native American Heritage Month being, now? I know you guys at UNLV are doing a lot of great things for your students. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I think some of the things I would like to highlight are related to that land protection. There's the East Las Vegas Monument, and we've had the last 4 years a powwow for the planet that was hosted at UNLV campus. And part of that, it started as a social powwow and has now grew this year was the first competition powwow, and we held it in the Cox Pavilion. And it's really student-led, youth-led. We involved the school district. And then we help to advocate and uplift a different campaign to protect sacred sites or protect public lands. And so over the last few years, we did Abikwame, the Ruby Valley Treaty up in the Western Shoshone area, Basawabi also in the Shoshone area. And this next year, the powwow is going to be highlighting the Colorado River. We've been in long-term drought down here, and the river rights are coming up too. So one of our newest student organizations is hosting, it's the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, which is a national org. We just started our chapter here at UNLV this year, but they're going to host a convening of the tribes that are fighting for their tribal rights to the Colorado River. And they'll be here for a conference in December. I think it's the Colorado River Users Conference. And they'll be here in December. So they're trying to offer a space for the tribes to get together and talk and share about like what it is that they're going to be raising as concerns for their communities before they get to the conference. It's a time for the tribes to hold together. So I think the students being a part of protecting the land that they're in, as well as uplifting the tribes that are here and the issues that they have, is really important in a way for them to be engaged with the community. I was going to say for Heritage Month, we do have a whole number of events on campus. It started today. We're hosting in my college, we're hosting a tea made of indigenous ingredients with a Paiute word for tea. Otup is the name of the tea. And then tomorrow we have a little vendors market. Wednesday, there's a mixer between Native American alumni from UNLV and our hospitality alumni at the Palms. And then we're screening the film Imagining the Indian on campus on Thursday. And then later in the month, there's like the Mixed Native UNLV pageant happening this month. We do an All Nations night, Rock Your Mocks. So there's a number of different events that the student organizations put together.
That's great. If you have any flyers, we can post them and share the information, especially for anything happening later in the month,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, great. So let's go to the next question. Oh, and shout out to ACEs. I'm familiar with them. So that's great that you guys are providing a space for the leaders to kind of like get together, figure out like what's our plan, you know? Okay, so the next question is about Native Vote Las Vegas, that you've been involved with. Can you share what your experience was like? And then why civic engagement is so important, a part of building Indigenous power?
I like to say I've loved Native Vote and civic engagement since Schoolhouse Rocks. You know, like I remember I remember those cartoons, and I've always been interested in politics, even when I was young. Like I knew Geraldine Ferraro was running for vice president, and I was in the 5th grade. Like, why did I know that? I don't know, in 1984. So I think my first time I've been involved in Native Vote since around 2008. And that was through the National Congress of American Indians. They were the first organization to that I knew about to organize Native Vote and have a campaign. And I saw it online, and I was motivated to get involved because of the Obama campaign. And so I was just like not really knowing what I was doing, but how do I get people involved and get Native people, to vote? And then over the years, maybe it was 2020 when I really started to learn more about it, because I was off and on, family, different things happening over the years. And so I didn't really start getting more involved until 2020. Maybe like 2019, we were having that big election year in 2020, and everyone was looking at Nevada as like a key state, a battleground state, usually because we have such a diverse state of voters. And they were bringing the presidential forum here. It was the second Native presidential forum in the country, and they were going to host it here in partnership with the Nevada Indian Commission, and it was on campus at UNLV. And so just started like learning more and getting involved, and NCAI was there again, Native Organizers Alliance, and like, what can I do? And a lot of the Native Vote was centered around tribes, but here in Las Vegas, we're mostly urban. Majority of our population is urban Native here. And so I just was like, what do I need to do? And so I was working, I think, through the Indian Center at the time, and then we were helping to get Native Voters Alliance started. So like we had a hub that was really centered on voter engagement, registering people to vote, learning what all the rules are and how we do that, and getting access to the data, being able to learn how to phone bank, like all of these methods that I had not done before. And how do you promote a campaign? How do you engage the community? And so it really started back in 2020, and learned how to do all the stuff, and learned what the issues are, all the different offices, why it's important for us to vote in our local elections and our state elections and our tribal elections, not just presidential when most of the people come out, right? But why all of these different seats affect us on a day-to-day basis. Who's deciding where your school is getting zoned to, and who's deciding if this, what's going to be built next to your house, and all of those issues. And then having worked in government too, I worked for the county for 25 years, and being in the government and going to those meetings, like just really understanding that, yeah, every single vote counts. All of these decisions are, if you come and testify at a meeting, they're going to listen to you. Like I never really realized that until I got more involved, even on the inside of government. Like if I get an email from an angry constituent, like that commissioner responds, and I have to like research it. So I do from the inside, like they do listen. So it was really just about helping not only to know the voting system, but help to encourage people to understand like how their vote really matters.
Yeah, you got the inside look, and it is encouraging to know that when we do send emails or we do testify or whatever, that somebody is actually reading them. I know on my end, sometimes I'm like, is this even like, worth it, I guess? But it is. It is worth it. And I'm so glad to know that also you were influenced by Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a Bill sitting alone on Capitol Hill.
We all know the song.
For sure. No, I mean, those videos really were very educational. Look, we're still talking about them like all these years later. And I know if I needed to educate somebody about the government process, I'd be like, here, watch this video. It'll explain
Exactly.
it all.
Exactly. So we were mentoring some college students and high school students, and I'm like, I'm going to show you all a cartoon real quick. Like our first meeting, I played that video where they're like, okay, like,
But
they
it breaks it down.
they learned it. Yeah, they
It
learned.
totally breaks it down for everybody. So that's awesome. All our old school tools coming back to help us. Um, well, it's great. I'm really glad. I know that it is important for us to get active in the smaller elections, or not the non-presidential ones, because that is where a lot of important decisions are made. And if you don't vote, then you don't get a chance to like complain, I guess, really, because like, well, you just sat at home, you didn't vote. So this is what happened when you don't show up. But hopefully people do show up, especially now. It's very important. Get as many people as we can out there voting.
Absolutely. Midterms 2026.
I know. It's a tense time.
I have a question, and it goes to the voting because when I was trying to register people for to register to vote, um, I have a question I would like to ask you and see what your response is. What would you say if somebody says voting isn't traditional?
That came up a lot over the last few years when I got more into Native voting is that, it's a colonial construct. Like, why are we voting in their system? I think our people have voted or chosen amongst leadership within our own communities forever. We choose our leaders, and it's a democracy. I mean, democracy is based on our people's ways back in the day. So I would say that we have always practiced democracy within our people, and that democracy extends to our citizenship as in the United States as well. It's, you know, unless you're not going to leave your reservation, or even if you were to stay only on your reservation, you're still impacted by those treaties and agreements that the federal government has with our tribal nations. And those are still people that are going to have a say in what happens on our lands, indirectly or directly. And so it's still important that we elect those leaders that are going to represent our Indigenous issues in the best way.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that because that's what I turn to. And that's what I said too. We've always chosen somebody from within, whether it be, tribal council or, the leaders of our community. So thank you for answering that question, which wasn't one of the pre-planned questions. I just wanted to ask,
You try to
but
catch.
going into the next question, um, the next question is about education and cultural identity. How can colleges and universities better support Indigenous students who may be far from home or their traditional homelands?
It's really it's challenging to do that, especially since there are so many, 574 tribes of a variety of Indigenous groupings regionally across the country. And while we have I think our common core values, there are still different practices and ways that each tribe has that may be different. The Hopi from the Choctaw to the Ojibwe to the to California tribes. And so it really, I think, takes, and what we're learning as I built this program at UNLV, just in my own college, is that I need to understand that students' individual needs. And there needs to just be that one-on-one. I mean, there is just no way around having that personal relationship with them. Of course, we can do the broader Native American Heritage Month events that we're going to bring our kids together, but you still need to understand them a little bit more one-on-one. And that goes all the way from kids from the res to even urban native students who may be struggling with that identity. Maybe they didn't learn to powwow. I grew up going to powwows, but I didn't grow up powwow dancing. So there's all these different things in that we should never be lumped together, but we should be really intentional and committed to learning more about that student, their tribe. I try to visit every tribe, every tribal partner that we have. I go to visit their nation and learn about them, go to their cultural center, talk to their people, and then recruit their students so that I know I can serve them in the best way.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. I was talking to my sister. She's very much into education and about politics, but she works for a dorm in Navajo in like Aztec area of New Mexico. She just started working for a dorm, an all Indian dorm, and she's a community outreach person. So we were talking, and then she was saying she's been reaching out to the parents and to, the teachers about how they're gonna help the children or help the youth that she's working with. And the first thing that I came to was because I've worked with a lot of youth. It's always about me having a relationship with that person individually. I can talk to everybody else. I can talk to their parents. I can talk to their therapists. But once I had a relationship with that individual and really listened to them and really listened to their goals and what they wanted and who they were, and, whether they were walking two roads or, not understanding why they were how they were, or not having a connection because they were because traditional, multi-generational trauma. I always wanted to know them as a person. So thank you for sharing that, because it is important. We can be lumped into one wave of everybody powwows, everybody does this, but everybody doesn't. And if you talk to an individual, you'll know and hear what it is that they want. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I've only just learned this in my time working now, but just working in community too. Even when you talk to people about voting or their education, whatever, these one-on-one conversations and just building that relationship is really just how you better understand type of service.
Yeah. Well, I also want to thank you for welcoming me to Las Vegas at, a run that you had. I went to the Indian Center. I always say this because you're so like, I can reach out to you and you're like, know this person, know that person, go here, go there. And if you're not connected to community, I'm not connected as much to community in Vegas as I am back home, back in Los Angeles. But I appreciate you always willing to answer my questions, pick up a phone or pick up the text. And that's why, when we were coming into November, I was like, I'm here in Vegas now. The person that you go to is either you or Tilly for me, because you guys are so connected and like just know community and have always been welcoming to me. So I appreciate that about you. And I hope everybody feels that same way when they go to whatever community that they go to, that they have somebody that is a resource person that really truly is the heart and wants to make change for not only community, but for individuals, you know. So I just want to say personally, thank you. Ta'a pila maiaye. Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. And Tilly is the best too. Like she's got all the people with the kids.
Yeah.
Knows all the families. She's all on the parent committee and doing all the nutritional things with the kids. I love her too. Yeah.
And I also want to say thank you because I knew Tammy in 2022, I think is when we met. Maybe. I don't even, how did we meet?
We met through your sister for sure. Cause I worked at the county with your sister and your sister, your nephew and my son played football together.
That's right. And
Yeah.
that's how you met my
Pop
sister.
Warner when they were like, I don't know, like 8 years old. So me and your sitting on watching our boys play football. And then she's like, you remind me of my sister. You have to meet my sister, Jennifer. And so she would tell me about you all the time. And then finally we met. I'm like, oh, I do like her.
Well, we're all three of us right here, we're all very similar in that we want to be like, we want to help our community, we want to be involved, and we want to connect people, like
Yeah.
especially people that are outside and wanting to like be a part of community, but they don't know how. That's like, that's where my heart is, because I know what it's like to be on the outside and to like, I know that there is community here, but how do I get in and without being like suspicious or whatever? You need to have like one good connection, someone to vouch for you.
Yeah.
I wonder if are we all urban? Because I know I have always gravitated, like if I thought someone was native, I would just go introduce myself because I've always just wanted that connection with other native people. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's part of like what drives a lot of the things that I do is I'm always just trying to like meet somebody else who's native so I can
Same.
feel connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
when growing up for myself, not on a reservation, needing to have that. Like it's so meaningful that I don't think non-native people understand, I don't think, because they're surrounded by themselves all the time and they're able to see themselves in media or where on wherever. Like for us to see each other, it's so like, I found another native, let's connect.
There's just a level of comfort when you're surrounded with your own folks and the inside
Mhm.
jokes and
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Well, that is the conclusion to the questions that we have.
Okay.
I'm just really thankful to have time to visit with you. I know you're a busy person, and I'm so glad that we were able to make time to, come and visit together. Um, but that does conclude the questions that we have. Is there anything that you would like to say to community in general? Is there anything that you would like to let people know? Just Jen's gonna edit this, so so if there's like a message that you want to give, this would be your opportunity.
I think along the lines of what we've been talking about is to just get connected, get involved, go to meetings, go to events, and bring your whole family. And our community is stronger when we're all together and when we come together at these different opportunities that we have, whether it's for voting or just supporting one another at someone's event that they're hosting. So just like to see like more people get involved and connecting with one another and being there for each other. Pretty simple.
Yes, take a risk, show up, go.
Go. And go
I
ahead, you see?
also go ahead.
Oh no, that's it.
Okay. I also like how you mentioned about calling your congressperson, that they really do listen. I feel like people think that if they don't vote, like if they're not gonna, my vote's not gonna matter, or if they have something on their mind or something's going through, people, I always get messages like, call your congressperson, here's their number. And now that you say that, I feel like I have done it in the past, but I feel more inclined to call them about everything that's happening, especially the craziness that's going on right now, you know. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for letting our audience know about being able to, we are their constituents. If you vote, you voted for them. And, it's not about them making their own decisions. It's about the people that voted for them. So thank you for encouraging our community, our viewers to, call their Congress people if they have something to say.
Yeah, and all the way, Congress is at the federal level, but call your state legislators, your commissioners in the county, your city council, your school district. A lot of times when you're trying to make change, they just see the words on the paper, but if they have someone that can tell a story of how they're personally affected by this issue that's on the table, then that gives them an example and a voice that they can share to help sway votes of other people on the council, or, you know, whatever needs to happen in order to help make change. And so hearing from the public and hearing these personal stories, whether it's on a phone call or an email or try to get a meeting with them. I mean, you could do any of those ways. I mean, that just helps empower them to take action on your behalf. So thank you for raising that too.
For sure, for sure. Thank you. And I think that's it. Thank you for joining us, and happy Native American Heritage Month.
Woohoo! Yes.
Well, it was so good to see her and to have time with her, and to be in community with her and visit with Tammy. I want to ask Jen to come back on stage if she can, so we can talk about a few other things. And yay!
Hi, I'm back. We're back.
We're back and better than ever.
Yep.
um, so I wanted to make sure that we spoke about some things because some people did put some stuff in the chat. And I also wanted to make a correction. So earlier I said hello to my nephew who said they were checking in and telling us good evening. This is so I have Emron and Emerson who are nephews of mine. This one is Emerson and we call him Misu. And his brother, we call him Bear. So I just wanted to, I was like, I don't know which one, but I was able to process it as we were watching the video. So just saying hello to Misu, but also my nephew Daryl let us know that it was having a expert panel presentation on November 28th from 12 to 1:30, and he'll be posting it on my page. So if you're available and want to know more information about ICWA, which is Indian Child Welfare Act, please check that out. But as well, Jen wants to share something. Oops,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm coming back to you.
Yay. Okay. So close. That's great. Yeah, so everybody, as April mentioned before, we went to a film festival in Chicago, and we have another film festival coming up in Los Angeles, the LA Skins Fest. Very excited about it. Me and the Hawaii Filmmakers Collective executive team, we made a short film. It's called Just One Bite. It's the first one right here. It's super short. I think it's even less than 5 minutes long. And if you're able to come out next Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m., not only my short, but all these other wonderful shorts are going to be playing. So please come out to the TCL Chinese Theater, 8 o'clock. You can get your tickets online. If you have any questions, you can hit us up here. We come in and check on the comments, or you can also send me a DM at either Native Muse Productions on IG or Native_Muse on Instagram also. But please come on down Thursday, November 20th from 8 to 10 p.m. It's going to be a wonderful program, a wonderful group of short films that include mine, Just One Bite. Thank you.
Yay. And you have to watch it. It's so good. I was able to see it, and man, you're going to be in for, bring your tissue. That's all I could say.
It is an emotional film, and we have had people cry at screenings, so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, very simple film. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah. So that's Skins Fest in Hollywood, California. Check them out. It's all, I believe it starts on Wednesday or Thursday.
I think so. I think it starts on Wednesday, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just concerned with my.
They have a lot of different things that are going on, so check out their website. And thank you all for being here. It's been a great November. We're always excited to be here and share space with you. Let us know if you like to see other things that we can bring to you. We are here. We do this as a heart project, which means it's all volunteer, and it's a commitment that us aunties have made to bring community together virtually. So thank you all. Any last words, Jen?
No last words on my part other than happy Native American Heritage Month. I hope everybody has a great rest of November. And if you have a chance, come see me at the theater next Thursday, November 20th. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you again when we see you. Thanks for being here. All right. We'll talk to you.